Hey the berries! Today I'm here to blow your mind with the item that is shown there, the Vigilant Wardstone. The majority of supports do not even take this item, and the majority of supports don't even know what this item does. Partially it's because of Riot's fault, because they don't actually recommend this item in the item shop, which is huge crime by Riot. But I promise after you're done with watching this video, I will have convinced you to take this item in every single support game that you play. So what we're going to do is we're going to be talking about the stat value first of this item before we get into the technical details. So here is the Vigilant Wardstone. So in this example, I am playing Nami and I've hit level 13. In my inventory on the bottom left hand corner, you can see that there is a Shard of True Ice, which is the fully completed AP support item. Next to it is the Chemtech Putrefier, and then the Vigilant Wardstone, and then the cooldown reduction boots, and then an Imperial Mandate. This is a very common build for me when I hit level 13. You will probably have the gold for this in about 80% of your games, like generally. Sometimes you might need a tiny bit more gold at level 13 to be able to buy the Vigilant Wardstone. But the good news is that Vigilant Wardstone only costs 1,100 gold. The reason why it's so cheap is because supports struggle to buy items as the game goes on. So by the time you've got your Imperial Mandate and you're halfway through your Chemtech Putrefier, you're starting to struggle a bit on cash. Mainly because the Shard of True Ice will have fully completed, and then gold generation generally slows down quite a bit. So Vigilant Wardstone is the perfect item to pick up because it only costs 1,100 gold. It's one of the cheapest items in the entire game, and it's the cheapest completed item really in the whole game. The main part I want you to look at is the stats at the moment. So as you can see on the Wardstone, it has 150 health base and 15 ability haste base. Okay. Next, we're going to be looking at the Blessing of Ixtal. Grants a 12% increase to ability power, ability haste, attack damage, and bonus health. I'm going to do a small disclaimer here. You should be picking up this item on every single support, apart from potentially Pike, as Pike benefits more from lethality. So he is actually the only support that if you are a Pike main, you might want to not necessarily invest into this item. But if you are playing Pike, you'll still get extra AD from the bonus health. But overall, it's not exactly the best potential use of your gold if you are playing Pike, because bonus health gets converted into AD, and that ratio isn't particularly amazing. But for every single support, there is no excuse to pick up this item. So if we only look at the stat values, if you do some maths, which I've already done for you. So once again, this is a Vigilant Wardstone at level 13 with Shard of True Ice, Imperial Mandate, and Chemtech. With a little bit of game knowledge / research, you can work out the value of per point of stat in League. You work this out by finding the cheapest item. For example, if you wanted to find out the health value, you'd buy a ruby crystal. It's the cheapest health item, and then you would work out how much gold that is. So that's 400 gold, and then work out how much health you're getting from the ruby crystal and how much gold value that is. So in this case, it's 1 health equals 2.67 gold. I've done all the math for you, so if you don't understand what the hell I just said, just keep following, okay? 1 ability haste equals 26.67 gold, and 1 ability power equals 21.75 gold. Now, if we add up the base Wardstone stats plus the Blessing of Ixtal from a standard Nami game at level 13, you get this. So all of those stats combined, you've got 201 health, 25 ability haste, and 24 ability power. And you can see next to them, I've put the gold value of each one of those stats. Don't forget this item costs 1,100 gold, And if you're able to do basic math, you can work out pretty quickly that you're getting more than 1,100 gold worth of stats here already. And the total amount is 1,700 gold, well, 1,725 gold of value, which gives you a percent increase of 156%. I want to note here that this is not including the extra passives that we're going to be talking about in a second. It does not include Gathering Storm and the space for another item and a space for the elixir for 500 gold that can also get multiplied with the Wardstone. Also, it does not include the fact if you might have an on your team, which would also increase the stats. Because if you're picking up, like for example, the 6th item, that 6th item has stats on, and you'll get 12% bonus extra on the health and the ability power and the haste. And that item would count as a legendary item towards your mythic, which would give you a little bit more extra stats as well. So it's 156.8% increase minimum. Okay. In theory, you can get this way higher as well. What is the significance of 156%? Because that is just a number I've just told you. You have nothing to compare it to. Well, I'm going to help you here. The next closest that is not an on upgrade or a support starting item is Berserker Greaves, and that is 128% gold value. So that should already be a clear indicator that wow, that's 128% is the next closest. Everything else is at 128% or under. So just the raw stat value, this Wardstone at minimum is already up 156%, which is insanely high in terms of stat value. We're going to go back to the item now, and then we're going to talk about the other two passives. So don't forget, this is now the one of, if not the best, gold valued item in the entire game. Okay, and we're not done talking about it. Arcane Cash. This item can store up to 3 purchase control wards. So there's absolutely no excuse taking this, not taking this item. You should be taking it, is what I'm trying to say. You should be taking this item every single game, because as a support, you're going to want vision, and this item allows you to put control wards inside it. It does it automatically. So for example, if you have 2 control wards in your inventory, and you pick up the Vigilant Wardstone, it basically gobbles up those control wards and puts them inside this item for you, and it does it automatically. Okay, so basically think of it as your control wards are now basically your control ward space in your inventory has now got stats. Okay, and you're allowed to hold 3 control wards at the same time. That's kind of cool in itself. You know, you're allowing you to keep having vision control on the map, and you're getting some stat value, well, a huge amount of stat value for it. But here is the bit where it's like, wow, how is this item like not nerfed? Okay, and the reason why it's not nerfed, honestly, is because you guys don't take this item. That is purely the reason why this item has not been nerfed. Okay, so after this, okay, if Vigilant Wardstone gets nerfed, I do apologize, but it is annoying me to no end that supports aren't taking this. It is Behold. Increases your stealth ward and control ward placement caps by 1. A lot of you don't even know what that means, so let me explain. So everyone in the game is allowed to have 3 stealth wards on the map at any one point in the game, but only supports can really do this because of the support item. So if you put 3 stealth wards on the map and you put down another one, the last one that you placed will get removed to then allow space for this new one that you put down. Same with the control wards, but you're only allowed 1 control ward on the map at any one point. Every single person in your team and the enemy team can buy a control ward and place it down. If they were to put down a new control ward, it will remove the last one that they placed and allow you to put down the new one. This item breaks that and says you're allowed to have 4 stealth wards and 2 control wards on the map at any one point. So you're getting to double your control ward placement and have an extra stealth ward on top of it. So you're allowed to have 6 wards on the map instead of 4 at any one point, which is insane. So when you're level 13, you're getting to that time where it's Baron control, you've got lots of key fights happening. Say your team goes to Baron, it allows you to have the control ward in the Baron pit, and it allows you to have a control ward in a brush nearby. And just that alone is very, very powerful in terms of having control and vision, like knowing that the enemy team does not have vision in certain areas of the map when you're doing a key objective. And that doesn't include the extra 4 stealth wards that you're allowed to place around the map to also give your team intelligence of where the enemy is. So hopefully that has convinced you to pick up this item, the Vigilant Wardstone. Do note that you can buy the Wardstone component before level 13. However, it won't give you these passives until you hit level 13. So it will only give you 150 health and 15 ability haste if you're level 12 or under. It won't give you the extra stats. So you want to wait until you have the, in Nami's case, your mythic and the Chemtech or a different enchanter item. So you have your mythic and one other item, then you want to go into Wardstone. Wardstone should always be your 3rd purchased item, not including boots or starting item. Okay. If you have the Wardstone component, say sometimes I pick it up at like level 12. If I have 1,100 gold, I will pick it up, because once I hit level 13 out in the field, this item automatically upgrades for you. You don't need to go back and base to get it upgraded. So say if I'm like halfway through, level 12, I'm nearly hitting level 13, after, a few waves, maybe a mini like skirmish or something, I hit level 13, boom, this item's already done, and then you're getting all of those 3 extra unique passives for yourself. Super, super, super strong item. I highly recommend every single support pick this up, and apart from Pike mains. And let me know in the YouTube comments if you've been picking up this item. And if not, why not? Is it just purely because Riot didn't recommend it in the shop, or you just had no idea about how strong this item was? And, maybe because of this video, this item will get nerfed, so just use it now while you can. All the best. If you're watching this video, then it could be live on twitch.tv/Bizzleberry. Feel free to ask any support questions or any other league questions there. And yeah, pick up Vigilant Wardstone. I've really got nothing else to add about that. Do it. All right, I'm keeping my eye on you, support mains. Okay.